because if they don't know how much inventory they have currently in store, and when they purchase the extra material, they don't need to forecast, because in many years they have producing the products for they have because it's many years they have producing the product and for customers, and according to this experience and according to this lifetime that they are producing and receive orders, they know how much they should produce or how many they should produce, and deliver to customers. And also, as I told you, the MRP, as you see, requires the 99% accuracy, because it's very important for the company. As I told you, the report in the accurate way, the record the available inventory, and also after that they should decide how much they need more and how much items they need more to purchase. And so if they don't consider the availability of the inventory in current time, they don't they have to purchase the extra inventory, and it can incur the cost for company. So this is the reason that the system, the MRP system, requires the 99% accuracy. Outstanding purchase order must record of inventory. For example, how many items or how many materials you have. Now, how many materials currently you have in your store? Exactly. Yes. At first, they should purchase and they should prepare and provide the basic components and sub-assemblies as the Mr. Zarkun has told to you. And after preparing and after providing these components and these items, when they receive the order, they can start to assemble these items and produce the product. They should prepare and provide in advance the many things, and after that they should produce the products. You know, this is very important, because they should schedule, as I told you, they should schedule for the required material and how much, for example, materials they need to make order to a supplier to purchase them and keep them in a store to fulfill the future orders by customers. Okay, lead time. Lead time refers to the time required to purchase, produce, or assemble an item. For example, how many days does it take to purchase, for example, these items, and how many, or on the other word, how many days does it take the supplier provide the materials for us, and also how many days it takes after receiving the material from supplier, how many days or how many months, how much generally how much does it take to produce this product or assemble in this item to uh, to make it ready and then deliver to customers. This is the lead time. For production, the sum of the order, wait, move, setup, store, and the runtime, as you see, all of this time is refers to a concept of the lead time. For example, so the sum of the order time, wait time, move, for example, from supplier to customer, setup time and store time, and after that the runtime and deliver them to customers. The sum of these times refers to lead time for production. For purchase item, the time between the recognition of a need and the availability of the item for the production can be defined as lead time. So for purchase item, the time between the recognition of a need. For example, when the company find out now is the time that they need to make order to supplier to purchase material, and also the availability of the item for production, the time between them is can be defined as lead time for purchase item. So for production, the lead time refers to sum of the order, wait, move, setup, store, and the runtime. And for purchase item, the lead time refers to the time between the recognition of the need and the availability of the item for production. For example, now you recognize that we need to make order to supplier, and it takes 10 days to supplier produce this amount of this right quantity or right amount of the order and deliver to us. Okay, this 10 days refers to lead time for a purchase item for company. So this is the concept that should be considered, and it's very easy. MRP and just in time. As your friend told, MRP is also is the planning for the required material, and just in time also is a concept very similar to this. Just in time is to receiving material in right time and right place and right quantity. So the difference between MRP and just in time is the MRP is a planning system that does not do detailed scheduling, but just in time considers the detailed scheduling. MRP requires fixed lead time, which might actually vary with batch size. As I told you, MRP requires a fixed lead time. For example, the lead time should be fixed. For example, when the lead time for receiving or for purchasing items from supplier is 10 days, it should be fixed and it shouldn't change. For example, this time it's the 10 days, and after the second order is the 12, for example, 12 days. In the third order, you make to supplier, for example, it's 2 weeks. No, this is not right for MRP. It should be fixed and until end of the, for example, the product life. Just in time excels at rapidly moving a small batch of the materials through the system. So a small batch or a small batch of the materials through the system, just in time system is better than MRP. It means that when the company wants to receive a small batch or a small size for order, they need to consider the just-in-time strategy. But for the bigger batch size, or they need to consider the MRP strategy or MRP system, because MRP system focus on the big orders or big batch size of order, and just in time focus on a small batch size of order. Okay. The MRP, it was very easy concept, and it was contains some points some point and concept that every operation manager needs to be familiar with it. The lesson today has finished, and after this, I'm going to give you more examples from the last exercise about the forecasting. Uh, The operation managers try to reduce lead time in MRP. For example, in as I told you, it should be fixed lead time. It should have the fixed lead time. So operation managers try to reduce the lead time at first for the supplier, and after that work with supplier in the minimum lead time. Because um, uh, if they succeed to receive the material from suppliers in the minimum time, it benefits the company to uh, deliver the order to customer sooner than normal time. Okay, if you agree, please let's to focus on let's to repeat together the forecasting last week, and so do more exercise for linear equation or activity square as a method of the forecasting. I want to know anybody has done the last exercise for forecasting. Okay, very good. Please 1 minute, let me. Okay. Uh, Unfortunately, I changed my computer now, and the last exercise that I gave you is in the another computer. I'm so sorry about that. I have not. I haven't that exercise now with myself, and so I have another exercise here, the month and the demand. If you see, please let me solve this exercise together now. And for this, I have upload this. Please write down this exercise now. The month is it and the demand is Y. Please write down this exercise now. You should give you should give yourself to X figure. Yes, it has no figure, but you should give you yourself figure 2 months. Okay, January is 1, February 2, March 3, April 4, May 5, and June 6. Everybody has written down. Everybody has written down this exercise in a piece of paper, please. Okay. Okay. In our exercise now, how much is n? How much is n period? Period of time. How much is that? In this exercise, everybody, who can tell me how much is n period of time in this exercise? N period of time in this exercise. N equals to n. No, n. For x bar and y bar, x and y should be divided by how much? To calculate x bar and y bar. Okay, to calculate x bar and y bar, x and y should be divided by how much? Should be divided by n. Yes. How much is that n here in this exercise? Yes, very good. Very good, Mr. Barak. 6. N is 6. Because January, February, March, April, May, June. We have 6 months here. So n is 6. We have demand for 6 months or period of time n is 6. January, February, March, April, May, June. We have 6 months here. So n is 6. Yes, very good. We have demand for 6 months until now. Okay, so far. For forecasting, we should sum up the x. X is 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6. First, you should sum up all of the x figure. X is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. January is x. January is 1. February is 2. March 3. April 4. May 5. And June 6. Yes, very good. X equal to 21. Very good. And x bar, how much is x bar? X bar is x divided by n. How much is that? Very good. Very good. X bar equal to 3.5. Yes. What about y and y bar? Anyone have calculated y, sigma y and y bar? Exactly. Same like x. Y is clear here. 34, 45, 47, 52, 59, 63. Very good. Yes. Y, yes, very good. Sigma y is 200 and y bar is equal to 50. Very good. Very good, yes. So we have x bar and y bar now. Okay. We have to x in power of 2 also. And also xy as you see in the example. You should calculate x in power of 2 and x multiply y in the separate column. Yes, very good. And what about the xy? you should calculate x, y like this. Please see the exercise, see the example please. X, y. You should separate a column, and in each x should be multiplied in each y, and then they should sum up together. Yes, Mr. Masuda has done right, but Mr. Masuda, I think it's 1142, no 46. Please check your calculation again. Oh, sorry, Miss Masuda. Oh, so sorry. I'm so sorry. Yes, very good. 1142 exactly. Okay. Everything is clear now. Okay, we can use the formula B and A. We can use the formula and calculate B and A for equation, linear equation. Please calculate B and A now, because sigma x y is clear now. We calculate it. We already calculated, and it's clear clear y bar is clear. Everything has been calculated here, and also and so we can calculate A and B easily. Anybody has calculated B? 6. N equals to 6. Yes, right. Yes. B approximately equals to 6. Approximately. It's 5 point and blah blah. And what about X? You can see the formula and you can use the formula to calculate B and A because you have calculated X bar, Y bar, sigma is in power of 2 and sigma is Y. Everything has been calculated, and by using these two formula, B and A can be calculated easily. Very easy. You have calculated X multiply Y. Okay, you have calculated X multiply Y in the separate column. When you calculated X and Y, X multiply Y, you can sum up the figure and calculate sigma is 5. N is clear, X bar is 30.5, Y bar is 50, N is 6, sigma XY is 1142. X in power of 2 has been calculated, sigma X in power of 2 also has been calculated, minus N is 6, X power is 3.5 in power of 2. Every item in this formula has been calculated very easily, and you can replace them with these variables, and so by using them you can calculate B and A easily. Mr. Barak has solved right. What about Y? No, I don't think so. Please calculate Y again. How much is Y bar? Y bar is 50. Yes. Y bar is 50 minus B is 6 and X bar is 35. Calculate again, please. Y bar is 50 minus Okay, so the linear equation is we succeeded to calculate the linear equation or regression variable, regression equation for this exercise. Y equal 29 plus 6 multiply x. So if we want to forecast, for example, July. Okay, July is 1 month after June. It's enough to replace 1 by x. We can forecast for July. For example, for December. December is how many months after June? December. No, December. After June is 6 months. December is 6 months after June. 6 months after June is December. So if you want to forecast the demand for December, it's enough you replace 6 by x for December. For November, November is 5 months after June. It's enough you replace 5 by x in this equation. You can calculate y. Y is demand and x is months. That's right. It's very easy. When you calculate the equation, linear equation, you can forecast the next months, the next season, next year, and something like this. And it's enough you calculate, for example, the month or the year that you want to forecast for it is how much months or sorry, how many months or how many years is after the last month or last year that you have in table. Because until June is clear, the demand is clear. The December is 6 months after June because we have the demand for until June now. The December is 6 months after June. We have calculated a linear equation for this exercise, and it is enough we replace the 6 by x here, and you can calculate y that is demand for December. That's right. I think that most of you need to do more exercise. It's very easy, and also you need to do more exercise, and you need to study more on the formula. And no need to calculate like this. No need to calculate like this. It's enough you calculate the linear equation. Y equal 29 plus 6 because we have x and y is variable. A and B is constant and should be calculated. We calculate A and B by use of formula. And after that, we replace them in this linear equation. This linear equation that I wrote you in chat, all of you can see y equal a plus b and e. A and b are two constants be calculated. We calculate A and B and replace this formula. So we succeeded to calculate an linear equation. Y equals A is 29 and B was 6. A and B we calculate by formula, by this formula. Let's see, B and A. B equals sigma xy minus n x bar y bar divided by sigma x in power of 2 minus n x bar in power of 2. And A equals y bar minus b x bar. X is clear and y is clear. We calculated x in power of 2. We calculated xy. We calculated sigma x bar, sigma y by use of this table. In this example, okay. In this example, the year and the demand for electrical power has told you. No, we calculated a linear equation. We calculated a linear equation that can be used in general, okay, for this company. For example, in this exercise, the company in the January has a demand 34, in the February 45, March. The company wants to calculate a linear equation to forecast the demand for next month. So it can, by use of this data in this table, the company calculated a linear equation. It calculated A and B, and so it wrote it succeeded to calculated a linear equation. Linear equation was like this. It was the linear equation because we calculated A 29 and B 6. So the company wrote this equation, y equals 29 plus 6 multiplied x. Now after this, when company wants to calculate no. This x is different with this x. These two x are two different. X in this table, for example, please look at this example. Look at this example. X is time period. Okay. In both of the formula and in the linear equation, X is the time period. Is the month here. In our example is month, but in this example that you see in the screen in this slide, X is year. It's period of time. It can be month. It can be year. Okay. Please let me explain for you. X is time period. In linear equation that we calculate, X is time period. Okay. But from January until June, it was clear. We had X. January was 1, February 2, March 3. We had this. But by use of this data, we can calculate it. It is the month here, okay? January, February, March, April, May, June. By use of the data that are in our hand, because these data are in our hand, and this is clear, because it was for last month. January has finished, February has finished, and demand was clear, demand was specific, and also everything was clear. But by using of this data, company is going to calculate the demand for the next month. For example, for after June is July. We don't have the July, we don't have the August, we don't have September, we don't have December. We want to calculate and we want to forecast them, okay? But we have the January until June. By use of these data that are clear, we can calculate it X. X is equal 30.5 can be used to determine A and B, because we need to calculate A and B only. Y and X is two variables are for the next months. X is the next month. X is for the next month after June. Please let me. We have the January, February, March, April, May, June. Okay, they are X. And also in the y, this equation, X is the equation that we have, the linear equation that we have calculated. The y is please see this y equal 29 plus 6x. X is month. But we cannot replace it with January, February, March, because January, February, March is clear. We should replace the after June. For example, the July, August, September, October, we don't have this demand. This X is for after June. But in this equation, also X is the same. Months, X here is months. The 29 is B. A and B are two constant. A and B are two constants, not variable. They should be calculated by the historical data, by the data we have in our hand. For X, we have 6 amounts, we have 6 figures for X year. For January, we have 1, February 2, March 3, April 4, May 5, June 6. We have this in our hand now. So with the historical data that currently we have in our hand, we can calculate A and B. And after that, when we calculate A and B by use of historical data, we can calculate the linear equation for months after June that we don't have. Do you get it? Did you get it? After January until June, we have demand here. Demand for January is 35, February 45, March 47, April 52. Okay, please let me. A and B are two constant. I think you need to study the mathematical, because it's related to mathematical linear equation. Linear equation in mathematical. What was the formula for the linear equation? Linear equation is by X is a variable. It can be it can have the different number. It depends on you to give it the number. For example, X is month here. The June is clear here. But after June is July. July is 1 month after June. If you replace it by 1, you can forecast Y or demand for July. August is 2 months after June, because we have the demand until June. August is 2 months after June. If you give the x2, the y can be calculated, and y is demand has been forecasted for August. June, July, August. After August, September. September is 3 months after June. So if you give the x3, you can calculate y that is forecasted demand for September. After September is October. October is the 4 months after June, because the last month in the exercise is June. For December, please let me December. December is, yes, December is 6 months after June. We should give the x6. 6 multiplied. How much is b6? Plus a is 29. 36 plus 29 is 65. Yes, yes, very good. Yes, very good, Mr. Barak. 29 plus 36 equal is 65. Not 55. 65. Yes. Mr. Barak, is clear now? The main objective, please listen to me again. The main objective in this method, the method of the linear equation, is calculating A and B. A and B should be calculated by historical data that are available in company. Company June has finished, and company has January, February, March, April, May, June, because it has finished and the company know about the demand of these months. By using of these months and by using of these demands that company has, they they are able to calculate A and B for this formula. X and Y, X is month and Y is demand. We want to forecast the Y or demand after June, because we don't know, we don't have the July, we don't have the August. Why? We have the January until June. By use of this formula, we can calculate A and B as a two constant. Why? Y and X after June should be calculated or should be forecasted. For example, it's enough we give the X number. The author should give number or figure to X author. For example, for July, if we want to forecast demand for July is 1 month after June. So we should give the X month. A and B have been calculated. For example, if we want to calculate demand for July, okay, we have calculated A. A is 29 plus B is 6 plus multiply 1 for July. Please look at the chat. For July is 1 month after June. We have calculated A by use of the last months. We have calculated B by use of the last months and last demands that we have available in company. 29 plus 6 multiplied 1 equals 35. So the demand or Y, because the Y is demand, yes? The demand for July is 35 kilograms, 35 meter, everything like this. Do you get it now? Did you get it now? Very good. For example, for November, how much after June? After June is July, August, September, October, November. November is 5 months after June, so we should give the x5. Very good. Why? So I repeat again. The January until June is clear, and the company knows the demand because they have finished. The company is going to forecast after June because the July hasn't come yet. So by use of the historical data from January until June, the company wants to calculate a linear equation that by use of this linear equation forecast the months after June. The month is X and the demand is Y. We want to calculate the linear equation. By use of these data that are clear, January, February, March, and the demand for them are clear, we should calculate A and B. After calculating A and B, we can write the linear equation. X and Y are variable, and we ourselves should give the number to them after June. X is month and demand is Y. When you give the month to X, you can calculate the Y or demand for the month after June that hasn't come yet. That hasn't come yet because we don't have the demand for them. We want to forecast. It's very easy, and I think you should get it now, huh? Did you get it? It's enough to do exercise. At first, I suggest you study accurately. Okay, study accurately the lesson of forecasting at first, from first until end. End of all of the side of the forecasting should be and after that, please study the example in forecasting slide, and after that, try to do this exercise yourself. It's very easy, and don't worry about that. Okay. Okay. Thank you so much for your participate. Okay, sure. I send you the slide, the MRP, material requirement planning. I send you email the slide, And thank you so much for participating in this class, and I hope um, everybody have a nice time and nice night. And if there is any problem, please send to me email. And I have all of your email now, and I send you the slides. If there is no question, thank you so much for participating in this class, and so everybody, good night and goodbye. Have a good night, everybody.